Hello, Casey. Lulu. Jolie. And Yummy.
They're all far away, though. Right here, it's just Socrates and Gallyreena and you and me.
Yeah. Well, they were in voice chat, but they moved out of the way.
I'm going to resend a couple of the notices with the proper landmark.
Right.
Busy for a minute.
I think it's here for a
Thank you,
fortnight.
Gallyreena. Huh? What, Sabre?
It's here for a fortnight.
All right.
Fortnight is 2 weeks, by the way.
I know. And what's the Senate?
Huh? What's the Senate?
Huh? That's the word that turned you off from patterns.
Right, okay.
Somebody's got music on. All right. I shall be withdrawn for a minute or two, sending a couple of notices.
Yeah.
Update.
Χαιρετισμούς. Χαιρετισμούς.
Hello everyone, I'm sorry being late today.
Anejka. Saber. Can you hear me? Can any me?
Everything okay, Jolie?
Anejka, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well and I cannot hear Saber at all.
Well, maybe you have him turned down because the mic is loud.
I don't know, but he cannot talk?
No, he hasn't started talking. Saber, where are you?
Maybe would you then start to read some poem instead, Jolie?
Okay, sorry we're slightly late. A point for a friend. Oh. Don't say that. poem for a friend. You're every inch a lady, you're every inch a queen, you're every inch a goddess, but this world is so mean. It allowed me to meet you 20 years too late. I would have asked you out on a special date. Your body is so beautiful, your face it is a treat. Any man would willingly fall down at your feet. I cannot tell you openly of the things that I feel, but in the things I write, you know that it is real. Your smile, it lightens up every gloomy day. And when I hear your sweet voice, you know I want to stay. A poem for a friend. If anybody has a poem that they would like to share, by all means, please feel free to do so. You don't have to be a poet to share poetry, but you do have to have a love for the spoken word and a willingness to share. And the more you share, the more you get out of the event. Copy.
I can say something important. Can I have a voice?
But no, you have to actually send in a note card for them to
I was
Saber.
like so worried. I was like, please don't say it.
yeah,
Please don't
no,
say
could
it.
you imagine all of these?
Oh, immigration in by
Yeah,
John
that would be
Keats.
horrible.
just a
Saber.
buzz.
Thou still and ravished
Saber.
bride, quietness.
They'd be still doing
Saber.
it.
Thou foster child of
Right.
silence
Saber.
I'd
and
be in
slow
bed.
time.
Damn.
Sylvanian history. Who
Saber.
canst thus express a flowery tale more
Kiddo
sweet
would have
No.
than our rhyme?
Kiddo would have been weirded
What
out
leaf
if it was
fringed
announced. You know what I
legend
mean?
haunts
Yeah.
about?
Saber, can you hear me?
This is a new poem to me, by the way, so you'll have to bear with me slightly. What leaf-fringed legend haunts about thy shape of deities and mortals, or of both? In Tempe or Dale of Acacia, what men or gods are these? What maidens loathe? What mad pursuit? What struggles to escape? What pipes and timbrels? What wild ecstasies? Her melodies are sweet. But those unheard are sweeter, therefore ye soft pipes play on, not to the sensual ear, but more endeavoured. Pipe to the spirit deities of no time, of no tone. Fair youth, beneath the trees thou canst not leave thy song, nor ever canst thou those trees be bare. Bold lover, never, never canst thou kiss, though winning near the gold yet. Do not grieve, she cannot fade, though thou hast not thy bliss forever. Wilt thou love and she be fair? Ah, happy, happy bird, that cannot shed your leaves, nor ever bid the spring a Jew, and happy melodists unwearied, forever piping songs, forever new. More happy love, more happy, happy love, forever warm and still. To be enjoyed, forever panting, forever young, all breathing humans, passion fair. All breathing humans, passion far above, that leave hearts high, sorrowful, cloyed, a burning forehead, and a parched tongue. All these come to the sacrifice. To what great altar, O mysterious priest, leadst thou that heifer lowering at the sky? And all her sinking flanks. Where may this be? With garlands dressed. What little town by river or seashore? Or mountains built with peaceful city doors, is emptied of this folk, this pious morn. And little town by streets forevermore will silent be and not a soul to tell. Why thou art desolate, can return, or at its shape, fair attitude, with breed of marble men and maidens overwrought, with forest branches on the trodden weed, thou silent form dost teases out of thought, as doth eternity, cold pastoral, when old age shall this generation waste, thou shalt remain in the midst of woe. Than ours, a friend to man, to whom thou sayest, beauty is truth, truth, beauty. That is all you know on earth, and all you need to know. And that is Ode on a Grecian Urn by John Keats. So if anybody has a poem that they would like to share, by all means, please feel free to do so.
Because this event is today very special. And it's about location, you know. We are at Life for Life. Sorry, I just talking. I will read Pablo Neruda for my lovely tortellino. And I will read If You Forget Me. And it goes like that. Yes.
Anejka, do you have your mic off?
Ah, I didn't, and I start to read. Okay, I start over again. Yes, this is a dedication for my tortellino. If you forget me, Pablo Neruda. I want you to know one thing. You know how this is if I look at the crystal moon, at the red branch of the sow autumn at my window, if I touch near the fire the impalpable ash, or the wrinkled body of the log, everything carries me to you, as if everything that exists, aromas, lights, metals, were a little boats that sail toward those islands of yours that wait for me. Well, now, if little by little you stop loving me, I shall stop loving you little by little. If suddenly you forget me, do not look for me, for I shall already have forgotten you. If you think it long and mad, the wind of banners that passes through my life, and you decide to leave me at the shore of the heart where I have roots, remember that on that day, at that hour, I shall lift my arms and my roots will set off to seek another land. But if each day, each hour, you feel that you are destined for me, with implacable sweetness, if each day a flower climbs up to your lips to seek me, my love on my own, in me all that fire is repeated. Sorry. In me nothing is extinguished or forgotten. My love feeds on your love, beloved, and as long as you live, will be in your arms without leaving mine. Sorry guys, I'm still not really fully recovered. I tried my best.
Oh, thank you. It was beautiful. Does anyone else have a poem that they'd like to share? Okay. Yes, please. You take care of yourself. We're here celebrating Relay for Life, but unfortunately, many of us are lighting some of the luminaries along the way because we have lost dear ones to cancer. And I lost my mom to cancer. And this is a beautiful poem in memory of the people that we love, and also for us to follow for the people that are still with us. This is by Merritt Malloy. It's called Epitaph. And I put a note in there that the Orthodox Jewish people often use this prayer in meditations before Kaddish. Kaddish is a group of men from the congregation get together. I think it's 6 months after a dear one has departed, and they offer prayers for Kaddish. And this is often read. So I'll put it in chat. I'm so sorry about Sabre's troubles. Okay. Epitaph by Merritt Malloy. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me best by letting hands touch hands and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love does not die. People do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. I love that prayer. Thank you. Okay, would anybody else like to read something?
I need to say something about Rely for Life more, Jolie.
Sure, go right ahead.
We have this special walkway here next to the borders of our parcel, and there you can see on the sides of the walk of the road candles, and those candles are very special because each name mentioned there is will be also mentioned on the luminaria. This is a web page connected with American Cancer Society Rely for Life, and if you light the candle, the name will be mentioned there, and it's also the whole road. When we will walk, you will see names. You can zoom out and look at the side roads. It costs 50 lindens, but if you don't have that money, I can pay the candle for you. Just tell me the name. We have already lighted some candles for people in our families that we lost to cancer. And if you're interested, after the event, I will show you where it is. That was all, Jolie.
Thank you, Anejka, and that's very kind of you to offer to help people light their candles. As I said, I always light one of the luminaries for my mom and a couple of other friends, but always for my mom. Okay, I had a poem up and I lost. Oh, there it is. It was hiding. All right, this is another one in the same vein as the one that I read. This one is by David Romano. Put it in chat. Sabre tried to get back and he's off again, so he's working on it. It's called When Tomorrow Starts Without Me. When tomorrow starts without me, and I'm not here to see if the sun should rise and find your eyes all filled with tears for me. I wish you wouldn't cry the way you did today while thinking of the many things we did not get to say. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you. Each time that you think of me, I know you will. Wait a minute, we've got to turn these other people down. All right, turn you down.
This morning, a little before 5,
Andy.
I'm getting there, and there's these messages from people wondering why Mom was up.
I didn't know that we will hear the voice from the other
Yeah,
parcel.
they didn't get the parcel separated. I know how much you love me, as much as I love you. Each time that you think of me, I know you will miss me too. When tomorrow starts without me, please try to understand that an angel came and called my name and took me by the hand. The angel said my place was ready in heaven far above, and that I would have to leave behind all those I dearly love. But when I walked through heaven's gates, I felt so much at home. When God looked down and smiled at me from his golden throne, he said, "This is eternity, and all I promised you today for life on earth is done, but here it starts anew. I promise no tomorrow, for today will always last, and since each day is the exact same way, there's no longing for the past. So when tomorrow starts without me, do not think we're apart, for every time you think of me, remember I'm right here in your heart." Let's see how Sabre's doing. He got voice. No. Let me just IM him for a minute. Still no voice. All right, does anybody have a poem that they would like to share with us? All right, that's a good one too. You've all heard me read this Neruda, but this is my favorite Neruda. Just have to get it in English. I don't want it in. There we go. All right. This is number 20 from 20 Love Poems and a Song of Despair by Pablo Neruda. Actually, no. I just really like this one. Tonight I can write the saddest lines. Write, for example, the night is starry and the stars are blue and shiver in the distance. The night wind revolves in the sky and sings. Tonight I can write the saddest lines. I loved her. Sometimes she loved me too. Through nights like this one, I held her in my arms. I kissed her again and again under the endless sky. She loved me. Sometimes I loved her too. How could one not have loved her great still eyes? Tonight I can write the saddest lines. To think that I do not have her. To feel that I have lost her. To hear the immense night, still more immense without her. And the verse falls to the soul like dew to the pasture. What does it matter that my love could not keep her? The night is starry and she is not with me. That is all. In the distance, someone is singing. In the distance. My soul is not satisfied that it has lost her. My sight tries to find her as though to bring her closer. My heart looks for her, and she is not with me. The same night whitening the same trees, we of that time are no longer the same. I no longer love her, that's certain. Oh, but how I loved her. My voice tried to find the wind to touch her hearing. Another's. She will be another's, as she was before my kisses. Her voice, her bright body, her infinite eyes. I no longer love her, that's certain. Maybe I love her. Love is so short, forgetting is so long. Because my soul is not satisfied that it has lost her. Though this be the last pain that she makes me suffer, and these the last verses that I write for her. Okay, who would like to read the next poem?
I can read one.
Ah, okay, Jersey, the
Thank
mic is
you,
yours.
Jersey. Yes, so happy to see familiar faces. Thank you. Okay, I'll be reading Annabelle Lee. Yes. Is it? Yeah, everything is there. Okay, I will be reading my favorite and my mom's favorite, Annabelle Lee, by Edgar Allan Poe. It was many and many a year ago, in a kingdom by the sea, that a maiden there lived whom you may know by the name of Annabelle Lee. And this maiden, she lived with no other thought than to love and be loved by me. I was a child, and she was a child, in this kingdom by the sea. But we loved with a love that was more than love, I and my Annabelle, with a love that winged seraphs of heaven coveted her and me. And this was the reason that long ago, in this kingdom by the sea, a wind blew out of a cloud, chilling my beautiful Annabelle, so that her high-born kinsman came and bore her away from me to shut her up in a sepulchre in this kingdom by the sea. The angels, not half so happy in heaven, went envying her and me. Yes, that was the reason, as all men know in this kingdom by the sea, that the wind came out of the cloud by night, chilling and killing my Annabelle. But our love, it was stronger by far than the love of those who were older than we, of many far wiser than we. And neither the angels in heaven above, nor the demons down under the sea, can ever dissever my soul from the soul of the beautiful Annabelle. For the moon never beams without bringing me dreams of the beautiful Annabelle, and the stars never rise, but I feel the bright eyes of the beautiful Annabelle. And so, all the night tide, I lie down by the side of my darling, my darling, my life and my bride, in her sepulchre there by the sea, in her tomb by the sounding sea. So that is Annabelle by Edgar Allan Poe. Thank you.
Beautiful, Jersey. Thank you. Okay, does anybody else have a poem that they'd like to share?
Did you hear a poem for a friend?
Yeah, and we heard you. We heard you read "Ode on a Grecian Urn." I was going to. No, I'll read that first. I'll save the other one for later. All right, since Jersey read Annabelle Lee, this is another poem by Edgar Allan Poe, and this is called "The Village Street." Copy that and get that in chat. It's a longer one. Hope it all goes. I think it did. Okay. The Village Street. In these rapid, restless shadows, once I walked at eventide, when a gentle, silent maiden walked in beauty at my side. She alone there walked beside me, all in beauty like a bride. Pallidly the moon was shining on the dewy meadows nigh, on the silvery, silent rivers, on the mountains far and high, on the ocean's starlit waters, where the winds a-weary died. Slowly, silently we wandered from the open cottage door, underneath the elm's long branches, to the pavement bending o'er, underneath the mossy willow and the dying sycamore. With the myriad stars in beauty, all bedight, the heavens were seen. Radiant hopes were bright around me, like the light of stars serene. like the mellow midnight splendor of the night's irradiate queen. Audibly the elm leaves whispered peaceful, pleasant melodies, like the distant murmured music of unquiet, lovely seas, while the winds were hushed in slumber in the fragrant flowers and trees. Wondrous and unwonted beauty still adorning all did seem, when I told my love in fables 'neath the willows by the stream. Would the heart have kept unspoken love that was its rarest dream? Instantly away we wandered in the shadowy twilight tide, she, the silent, scornful maiden, walking calmly at my side, with a step serene and stately, all in beauty, all in pride. Vacantly I walked beside her. On the earth mine eyes were cast. Swift and keen there came unto me bitter memories of the past. On me, like the rain in autumn, on the dead leaves cold and fast. Underneath the elms we parted, by the lowly cottage door.
Hi, bitch.
Oh, come on. Who's talking now?
My goodness, that was really bad.
Yeah, I was. Whoever it was. I keep trying to turn all the outside voices down. Underneath the elms we parted by the lowly college. Now I'm all thrown off. Cottage door. One brief word alone was uttered, never on our lips before. And away I walked, forlornly, broken-hearted, evermore. Slowly, silently I loitered, homeward in the night alone. Sudden anguish bound my spirit that my youth had never known. Wild unrest, like that which cometh when the night's first dream hath flown. Now to me the elm leaves whisper mad, discordant melodies, and keen melodies like shadows haunt the moaning willow trees, and the sycamores with laughter mock me in the nightly breeze. Sad and pale, the autumn moonlight through the sighing foliage streams, and each morning midnight shadow of my sorrow seems. Strive, O heart, forget thine idol, and O soul, forget thy dreams. So that was Edgar Allan Poe. Does anyone else have a poem they'd like to share?
I can read something, maybe.
Sure, thank you. Just, if it's too much for you, stop though, okay?
Okay. I have this poem of Mary Oliver here. I just need to grab it on local chat. Summer day. And this will be, I think, the last poem for today, because we have to... Why Jersey is sitting? Jersey, want to sit with me? I'm sorry. Don't worry, I am just joking, sis. Okay, The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the word? Who made the swan? The black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I don't know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? It was a Mary Oliver. And back to you, Jolie.
Thank you, Anejka. That was beautiful. And as you said, you need to get over to the track or the walkway that you're
Yes,
going
the
to be.
track, the track, the
The
track.
track. Okay, yeah. So
Okay,
you
we
need to
can.
get over to the track, and I'm going to turn it over to you. Thank you for coming. Jersey, it was so nice to see you here again.
I
And
think we
thank
all
you.
should. We all should go to.
Well, Sabre and I can't.
Oh, okay.
I have to go back and change my clothes and send out notices for an art circle at Circle Mental Health in an hour. So I
But
have to run.
it is just over here to see the luminaria, the candles, you know.
I can
No,
go.
we have to do the art circle at Circle Mental
Okay,
Health.
okay, no
Okay,
problem.
but thank you, hon.
Bye, Saber. Bye, Jolie. I
Thanks,
don't know. I'm
Jolie,
so
for
laggy a while ago. I'm just like, I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, this is a weekly meeting that I run. I do two of them. I do one on Thursdays and one on Sunday mornings. So I do have to run. And thank you all and have a good walk. And I will see you next week, if not before. Thank you. Bye.
bye bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Sabre, I'll meet you at home.
Yes, dear. Bye, folks.
Thank
See you all
you.
later.
Unless you want to
Bye-bye.
stay and do the walk.
No, I'm not going to do the walk of shame.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, bye, folks. See you all later. Have a great walk.
Of course, sis. Just tell me what I should write, or you will do it yourself. What do you think?
Yeah.